think it's ridiculous to start a third party. We have a tremendous success with the Republican Party. The Democrats have lost their way, but it's always been a two-party system. And I think starting a third party just adds to confusion. It really seems to have been developed for two parties. Third parties have never worked. So he can have fun with it, but I think it's ridiculous.
Well, Musk doesn't think so. He says one strategy would be to focus on 2 or 3 Senate seats and 8 to 10 House districts. He's already pledged support to Republican Congressman Thomas Massie, who's been at odds with Trump over his opposition to the reconciliation bill. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent urging Musk over the weekend to stay out of it. While Musk might have the financial backing, analysts say getting a third party up and running would be a logistical nightmare. And the question is, how much of his own funding would he be willing to invest? Back to you.
All right, Kilmeny, thank you. Joining me now is Bobby Eberle, chairman of the Republican Party in Fort Bend County, Texas. Bobby, good to have you with us today. Look,
good to be here, Todd.
I'm kind of concerned about this. I think, honestly, Elon may have a pretty smart idea. He's going to pick off a couple of these congressional seats, which would certainly give him a lot of power in the House of Representatives. What say you?
Well, he tends to have a lot of good ideas, but he tends to implement them in absolutely the wrong way. When we're having the debates on the big, beautiful bill, you know, Elon is clearly focused on waste, fraud, and abuse and DOGE, and those are excellent topics, excellent things we need to address. I mean, part of the America First movement is getting rid of the deep state, this spending and this unaccountability, and he's been a great spokesperson for that. But he tends to go off the handle, go off the rails, and this one is particularly bad, I must say. I mean, there's a line out of House of Cards that said, you know, a third party is the party of the future and always will be, because it's just not going to work, and it risks, you know, splintering the Republican Party when we need these electoral victories. He's talking about the Senate, but if he focused on the House, that would be very detrimental. And instead, he should focus these resources and this energy into places that will do good. I believe Governor Ron DeSantis just came out and suggested, how about you push for a balanced budget amendment? Now, can you imagine Elon with X and his resources pushing for something that would be so good for the country, or a number of other measures? Let him focus in that direction, and I think he could still be an asset to us.
Well, you know, again, the White House is not being very helpful here. You had, Thursday, President Trump out there suggesting he might be granting amnesty to, illegals in the hospitality industry, maybe farm workers. Charlie Kirk today reporting his sources say that is a huge, huge effort being pushed inside the White House right now. I got to tell you, Bobby, a lot of people, they voted for mass deportation in November, not mass amnesty.
Well, right, Todd, and this is the one that really, you know, disturbs me. It's like, I want to see more spending cuts, and I hope that'll come once we got rid of, past the big, beautiful bill. But on this one in particular, there was just there's been polling out recently from even the major networks that show not a plurality, but a majority of all Americans want mass deportations, illegal aliens, you know, not just the criminal ones, but anyone here illegally. So then to come out and say that, hey, we're looking at the farm industry and the hospitality industry. I mean, I guarantee people will work in hospitality. Americans will work in hospitality. And it just kind of puts the brakes on the MAGA movement, and it hurts our momentum, because I guarantee I did not sign up for that. And I know a great number of people did not sign up for that. We want the border secure and the illegals sent home. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, throw in whatever is happening at the Justice Department. I think the Attorney General is more interested in being a TV star on cable television than actually doing her job. We went from having the Epstein file list on her desk to now there never even was one. It didn't happen. Bobby, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on around the Trump administration right now, but it's causing a lot of concern among the base.
Well, Todd, you seem to have your finger on the pulse very well in the MAGA sphere and on X, and so do I. I try to follow it, and I think one of the biggest disappointments has been Pam Bondi. It's like you said, she said that the list is on her desk. She had that big PR stunt with some of the so-called conservative influencers, and they're flashing this binder of stuff we already knew. We're waiting for the real thing. If Ghislaine Maxwell is going to go to jail for 20 years for human trafficking, the kids were being trafficked to people, to certain people. Who are those people? Otherwise, how can you throw her in jail? We need to know that, and they're really stonewalling on this.
Yeah, Bobby, I'm telling you, just a lot of concerns, my friend. Let's hope they get this thing fixed quickly. Bobby, we got to leave it there. Really appreciate you. All right, thanks for coming on Newsmax. Thanks, Bobby.
All right, friends, thanks again for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And before you go, please hit that subscribe button above. Once you do, tell your friends, share it, spread the word about the 13-minute news hour so we can keep growing. And for more great content, check out these videos right here, and I'll see you next time.